What's going on, guys? Seth here with Seth Francis Sim Racing. We are back in Gran Turismo Sport here at Nordshleife once again. Decided to use the Lancer Evolution again in this race instead of switching up cars, and that's just because I wanted to go ahead and adjust some of the settings, see if I can get it to handle a bit more favorably and get it to accelerate a bit quicker. So I stiffened up the dampening just a bit. Stiffened up the spring rate. I didn't adjust the ride height, although I could. I'm gonna leave it just about like that for now. Not gonna bother adjusting that, although I could drop the back just here. Still want the front lower, but left the diff the same and adjusted the transmission. One thing I really would like to see in this game is tire pressure control. But, excuse me, that wasn't in the previous iterations of Gran Turismo on the PS3, GT5, and GT6. I don't recall if tire pressure was in the older PS2 and PS1 models, or versions of the game, I should say. But it is definitely something that's in a lot of other racing simulators and something I would like to see in this game. Another thing I noticed that they added to Gran Turismo Sport was this little graph in the bottom left-hand corner, or these bars essentially. Something you see a lot in arcade-type games, where it'll give you kind of a breakdown of the vehicle's max speed, acceleration, braking, cornering, stability, and whatnot, the vehicle's strengths and weaknesses, so you can kind of see it on the fly. Which, I'm kind of indifferent, I don't care if it's there or not, but it is something that usually see more in like the really arcadey type games. And having said that, this is not, while this game is not a full simulator, it is certainly more simulator than it is arcade. And it's always been that way with Gran Turismo since the beginning. I think that's why so many people really become enthusiasts over Gran Turismo, or become Gran Turismo enthusiasts, I should say. Ooh, that Audi went off the track. That sucks. I hate when that happens to me, man. Like right in the first couple corners of a race, I just totally understeer off the track or spin out or something. It's such a bummer. Especially if it's not a long race, or if it's a race that you really got to kind of stay tight with the pack, or else you're going to really get left behind. It's just so disappointing to make a mistake early on in the race and spend the rest of the race trying to catch up. Trust me, I've been there many times. I was pretty much there last race. Or not last race, excuse me. Actually, last race a little bit, but more so the race before with the Lotus Evora. I don't want to hit this guy, so I let off the gas. Oh, don't squeeze me. Don't squeeze me into the grass, friend. It looks like a Subaru. I don't have the Subaru M300 class Subaru anyways yet. So that's pretty cool. At the end of my last video, I noticed that there's actually more than just the normal number of races today, and that may have been the case yesterday as well. I just didn't realize that, because when I looked initially earlier in the day, I saw that the races were going to be early on, and I knew that I wasn't going to have time, or I wasn't going to be able to stream, or enter the races on time. Had I known that the schedule actually kind of loops after the first races are up, and puts another bracket of races, so essentially instead of being 3 hours of races, there's 4 or maybe even more, I don't know, but I know at least 4, because that's what's happening today. I knew the weekends were on a different schedule, but I wasn't aware that we actually got more racing time on the weekends than we do during the week, which is cool. I'd like to see more races every day of the week. It'd be nice if they, did it, I don't know, say from 12 noon to 12 midnight or something like that, or even just from like 5 to 11 every night, you know, East Coast time, to get a good 5 or 6 hours of online racing time, you know, of server time, would be good. I do think the car's handling a little bit better now. Still not perfect, but I like this stiffer setup better than the looser setup I was running last race. I definitely feel like I have more traction. Or should I say more grip in the corners. Oh, understeered right into that wall. So much for grip. Gears are still kind of long and drawn out, especially 4th and 5th. This car would really benefit from a 6-speed. Again, I don't understand why this model of Lancer does not have a 6-speed. Maybe maybe it doesn't in real life, but it doesn't seem to make sense to me. It seems like a 6-speed would do much better than a 5-speed, especially in a car that doesn't have an incredibly large amount of power. Because, I mean, I'm in 5th gear now and I'm just humming along, not accelerating really, hoping for a strong gust of wind from the rear. Me and that Audi went off track there. I didn't think I was going to. I thought I was going to have enough grip, but I guess not. I do not know how I kept traction there. Shouldn't have gone up on the grass. I should have pushed it, but I didn't want to hit this guy on the inside and knock him off the track. Oh, buddy, you're sliding all over the place. He's really having to throw that car through the corners. I had a feeling we were going to ghost right through each other there. If we hadn't ghosted, I would have gotten thrown right off the track. He ended up ghosting through me and going off the outside of the track. Alright, so it looks like I'm in 9th place now. Going off the track, about to lose that place. As I mentioned in a previous race, this is a 5-speed manual transmission car with a clutch and everything, and I'm not quite sure, when I'm in time trial mode and whatnot, and take this car out on the track, I can use the 8 shifter, but in race, for some reason, I can only use the paddle shifters. Not sure what's up with that, but maybe it's just, for the beta phase to kind of keep things more fair. But in my opinion, using the 8 shifter isn't going to make it faster. It makes it harder, especially with the shifting model in Gran Turismo, where not only do you have to fully depress the clutch, you have to fully release the gas. Otherwise, a shift simply will not happen if there's any gas pedal input whatsoever. Really, really annoying. It's been that way You know, at least in Gran Turismo 6 and Gran Turismo 5, which are the only games I've played with an H shifter. But, it is annoying. Any other game or in a real car, you know, if you're shifting through the gears, if you know, technically you could leave the gas right to the floor and just engage the clutch, shift, let the clutch out. But Gran Turismo will not let you do that. It's just the way it's coded, it forces you to have the clutch fully depressed and the gas fully released in order to make a shift. Here we are, just clipping along in 5th gear, almost redlining. Ridiculous. This car needs another gear. Alright, rounded up to the finish line now. Looks like I came in 8th place. Not terrible, but not the best. Who won the race? Well, Bo Snipe 94 once again. That man is killing it tonight. Congratulations to you, Bo Snipe 94. And yeah, I will catch you at the next race. The next races are GR4 class, which is essentially GT4. I believe it's going to be at Brands Hatch. So I will see you there.